honestly, what I wanted to do was an interview with you about marriage. That's what I really wanted to do.
Oh,
But the podcast is different. It's about business, and you have both. So,
well, yes. I have an entrepreneurial husband, but I
yeah.
inherit his responsibilities, especially in the Hawaii chapter when I was
Yeah.
expecting number 8.
Wow.
And we bought an estate on the beach in Hawaii with 2 vacation rentals.
Mm.
But our main business was in California, so he would fly back there and be there quite a bit. So I was managing the rent.
This is
3, internet.
good.
So
Wow.
phone calls from Alaska in the middle of the night.
Wow, man. That's incredible.
But I could only do that for about 2 years. In fact, exactly 2 years. And then I was done being the breadwinner.
I know that's perfect. Yeah, it's already helping me.
Cool.
Welcome to another episode of Mompreneurs Making Moves. I'm your host, Murdock, and today is a very special guest near and dear to my heart. This will always be special. This is my very own mother-in-law, Mimi Murdock. She is the matriarch of our family. She is the mom of 9 children and is also she's always been in the entrepreneurship realm, whether it was Miller's Honey, which we're going to ask her about, or all the way to supporting her husband and her family. And I'm so excited to get started. So let's dive in. How are you today?
I'm fabulous.
Good.
I climbed the mountain. Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yes, love that. And how would you describe your life now, today?
My life now today, I have inherited all the workings of our estate because my entrepreneurial husband is totally retired, but I'm in charge of everything. So, la-di-da. The life I thought I would be living right now, but it's working out fine because I'm not nursing or pregnant or dealing with toddlers, so it's okay.
So are you saying being a mom is hard?
It's a full-time job, and it's the most important job in the whole world.
Absolutely.
I had a little taste of it in Hawaii during that chapter when I was expecting number 8.
Mom. Yeah. And what motivated you during that time, and how did you navigate pregnancy and business? Because pregnancy alone, hormones and body changes and all the things. I mean, how did you navigate that and taking up everything you did at that time?
Well, my husband called me from Hawaii and said, I just bought a house in Hawaii. We are moving here in 2 months.
Wow.
I'm 6 months pregnant with number 8, but pregnancies were relatively easy for me, especially the last trimester. So I said, okay, well, la-di-da, adventure. And off we go. And it worked out fine initially. I mean, all the kids had to help clean the rentals too. Yeah, it was great living on the beach. And anyway, it was fine at the beginning. But this is pre-internet, so it was before. Anyway, I would get calls in the middle of the night from Alaska to book our vacation rentals.
Wow.
And I would have to take down the information, send out a paper brochure, and then they would send back their information to book it. And it was a lot of work.
And did you have your mom there or dad? Like, did you
No family.
No family.
But it was a great learning chapter, and I have great respect for moms who try to balance business and family, but it's really tricky. I did have a mother's helper who helped keep up the laundry and the dishes, and I really didn't leave except to taxi the kids to and from school. And we had one that was being homeschooled at the time because he was handicapped a bit. And so it was a real adventure and a great learning experience. But after 2 years, I was done. I told my husband, it's time for you to make all the living. Our main business was in California. And so we moved back within a few weeks.
Okay. And talk to me about having hard conversations with your spouse. Is that normal? Should that be happening? How often should that be happening? Why is it so hard?
It's hard depending on who you're married to. I was married to an entrepreneur who was raised by a male chauvinistic dad. So he wasn't real open to being a full partner at that time. I was raised in a time when the roles of husband and wife were very separate.
Yeah.
My dad would never have been changing diapers or anything. Those roles were very specific. And so I kind of accepted it. And we had a great life. My husband made sure we had lots of vacation time and fun times, but he wasn't a daily dad. So I was in charge, and we traveled a lot with business early on. And so when he was gone, I was still in charge. And that has its own challenges as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you navigate whatever reality is. We loved each other, but we didn't talk about what we should have been talking about earlier to be partners
And is love enough?
for a while. But eventually, you have to become partners, and each one has to be humble enough to realize the value and worth of counseling together. In fact, I've run onto this wonderful article about companionship counsel that a couple has done for many years. And it is such a refreshing opportunity to realize they have a great marriage because every week they sat down and talked about what was working, what wasn't, what they could do to love and support each other more. That creates a real partnership, and that's what you want in marriage.
Yeah. Yeah. And even if you don't start off ideal per se when you first get married, because a lot of people think when they get married, they're just going to automatically have everything, right?
It doesn't work that way at all. You have to develop a solid love and committed relationship in that marriage first. And it means giving 100%. At least that's what I realized for me because I was married to an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Yeah. And you grew up, talk to us about your past. Like you grew up in Miller's Honey, right?
Right.
Your family owned that company. Your dad, right? Is that correct?
My grandfather started it in
Okay.
1894.
Wow.
And my dad bought it from the family. And I grew up working at the plant, which was just across the street.
Wow.
My sister and I painted the first eyes and nose and mouth
Oh,
on the first honey bears, plastic honey bears.
wow.
And it was fun. We liked it.
And so when you got into your marriage, did you know what you were getting into?
Absolutely not. No one knows what they're getting into in marriage. That's how God planned it because we're so different.
Yeah.
We're so opposite. But we have gifts that can be complementary.
Yeah.
We just have to learn to be partners and be patient, work on compromise, learn from each other.
Yeah. And when you say partners, does that mean you both have equal say about everything? Or does the husband still have the head of the household, but you're still working together?
Well, he presides, but we have to be equal partners. So on one occasion, who was it? My husband was going to buy a home on a place where he could fly the plane in. It was called Sky Ranch. And we would taxi into the driveway, park it, and then walk into the kitchen. So it was home on an airport. And I wasn't really crazy about moving there with our last two. By then, the others were raised. But I just had a feeling, let him choose. It's going to be okay. But in other times, when he wanted to leave a business open on Sunday in a strip mall that we had, this was a lot earlier, my commitment to God and the Sabbath was so strong. I said, absolutely, I cannot support you in that decision. We must close that business on Sunday or we will not be blessed. And it was a laundry. It wasn't a hospital or something that that was essential. And he acknowledged that, closed the business, and we didn't lose any money for closing it on Sunday. You just have to go by the Spirit and navigate relationships. I have a little saying that I think everyone in our family and other families might want to adopt. Breakdowns can bring breakthroughs because we're going to come to loggerheads on a number of things
Yeah.
over the years
Yeah.
and have a breakdown and have a big argument. Yet we calm down and just let it settle and think about it. It can be a breakthrough if we choose to let it be. It doesn't have to. It can be the worst thing in the world and you decide to get a divorce. Breakdowns can bring breakthroughs, even over serious issues or choices that were really bad
Yeah.
by one person.
And what would you say is similar about being a mom and also being a businesswoman? What are qualities that you'd say, well, I could see where that comes in handy for both of those?
That's an interesting one. It's so important to take care of the detail. It's all about the detail.
Yes.
In business, being dependable, being reliable with your customers and with your children, being trustworthy that they can trust me, that I will do what I say I'm going to do. I read a book by Stephen M. R. Covey called The Speed of Trust. And that really helped me determine how I dealt with a lot of people in business and personally. And the premise is if you will do what you say you will do, when you say you will do it, and if you can't, you let me know right away, then there's trust. If you don't show up or let me down, I don't have trust in you. And I don't do business with anyone I can't trust. And I don't foster a relationship with people I can't trust.
Yeah. And what if it's family, where it's hard to trust and boundaries? Let's go to that topic for a second. So, obviously, when it comes to working and being a mom, there are certain boundaries that you have to have in place to make both work at the same time or just separate. What is an important boundary that you would say is essential for a mom who's in business? And then what would you say to the mom who's thinking about being in business because she wants to contribute to her family, but, there's a little bit of a risk with her starting to divide her time? What would you say to those two? So, boundary that you would point out, and then to the mom who's thinking about it, business.
It's a hard and an individual question, but I truly believe that parenthood is the most important thing. And of course, the mother is the nurturer, and that needs to trump all, especially if there are needs, emotional needs, and you can't determine when those are going to pop up or kids get sick. The family needs to come first. It's very hard to balance business and family. Like I found in Hawaii, after a while, I just couldn't do it because I was doing each badly. And so you need to find segue into what does work.
Yeah.
Or start a business and sell it. Realize, you know what? Motherhood is much more important than money.
Even though we have to have money to do what we do.
Right. But the way God set it up is the husband is supposed to provide the necessities of life and protection for his family. The mother, if she wants to do a little something on the side, can help provide luxuries. My grandmother was a beautiful painter, so she could paint pictures and sell them if she wanted. Had a big garden, they could sell the produce that the kids helped produce. But the father is in charge of the necessities.
Yeah. Yeah. Food, clothing, shelter.
Yes. So back to boundaries, it has to be a very individual determination with your husband.
Yeah, absolutely. And what would you say to the mom who's an empty nester and now she wants to get into business?
Well, it's just open season. But I also have 9 children and 40 grandchildren so far. I don't do birthdays for the grandkids. Now we're getting some grades. So I do have a life and I perform in a variety show twice a month and stay healthy and strong. And I have a life. So don't drop off your kids and expect me to babysit. We will have play dates when it worked out for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to do a business? Go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And what is something that you would say every woman needs to know who wants to be a godly wife and mother? What is something that you would tell every woman who wants to do that?
God has to be in your partnership. I'm sorry, but it doesn't really work well without that because when you think about it, God has ordained for parents to nurture their children in truth and light, in love and righteousness, teach them how to serve one another and serve other people. And it takes time to help children have experiences in which they're serving outside the home as well as doing jobs inside the home. For 40 years, I was a stay-at-home mom and so grateful I could dance around the house with the kids amidst all the other responsibilities because I was so grateful I didn't have to leave to go to work or even work from home where I would have to tell. And of course, you couldn't do that much in those days, except maybe daycare, which I did for a short time after I had a first baby. And he loved playing with those little kids, but it was still hard and it was taking me away from my own main responsibilities as a nurturer.
And talk to me quickly about self-care for the mom. Like, how are we supposed to take care of ourselves and take care of everybody else?
Good luck with that. Good luck. It's just for me, having my helper come and I could get away to the grocery store, which was just down the street for just about 20 to 30 minutes max. That was my out time. I didn't go get my nails done, get my hair done, go out to lunch. No, no, no. My commitment was, and I was fulfilled as a mom. So going to the grocery store was my recreation. That kind of renewed me. I was just alone and could zip through the aisles, get a few things we needed for healthy food, healthy eating. Kids didn't eat junk. And that was, of course, I raised them in the days before there was even bottled spaghetti sauce. I mean, I boiled that
Wow.
tomato juice all day to make spaghetti.
And then how do you know that you're successful as a mom? Yeah, absolutely. Well, this has been wonderful and just so much wisdom. I'm so grateful. So thank you for joining us today. Thank you. No, I'm honored. And thank you all for listening to Mompreneurs Making Moves. Again, I'm your host, Mariah Murdock, and you'll want to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Mompreneurs Making Moves. And on our YouTube channel, you can watch the full interview at Mompreneurs Making Moves Official. And we'll see you next time on our next episode.